Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Vidisha Alexander Marshall. Welcome. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome as well. And please don't forget, hit the subscribe button at the bottom and make sure you're clicking the bell so when I am uploading on YouTube, you are notified. So today this is different. My daughter is actually holding the camera.
Hey.
So you'll hear her voice from time to time. So I have my son back here. He's being silly back here, but that's fine. So what I wanted to do today is I've talked a lot about vendor events, and my daughter and I, in our last video, we talked about vendor event that we did last week. It was actually myself, my daughter, and my son. So why are you doing that? Comedy, as always. So I want to show you guys, for those that are wanting to start a business, particularly those that are with jewelry or with anything. And over the last, what, year and a half, 2 years, Miranda?
Yeah.
We've seen so many different vendors that have been at different vendor events. And for myself being jewelry, we've seen jewelry, food, clothes, teas. We've seen it all.
Wow.
We've seen everything. The last vendor event we did was last week. And that vendor event was the Waffles and Wings Women's Event. And it was held at a hotel here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And we attended the event. We had a good time. It was a long evening, but we had a good time. So this, what I'm showing you guys, for those of you that are just starting in business, those of you that, you know what, I've started this business, I don't know where to start, I don't know how to get my exposure. Well, guess what? I'm going to show you how to get that exposure. A lot of times, how I find out about vendor events is I go to either Facebook and look through events to see what local events are going on in your local area. And we've even gone as far as, how far have we gone, Miranda? We went to Addis.
Yeah. And then
we've been to Addis, Louisiana. Of course, my flea market booth in Prairieville, Louisiana.
Yeah. One in Baton Rouge.
We've done several in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
I think, no. The furthest we've gone is New Iberia, Louisiana. And we didn't stay very long because the wind was horrible that day. So we've gone as far as New Iberia, Louisiana for vendor events. So mainly around the state is where we would go. I have been invited to other events in Mississippi, and I received an email actually a few days ago to do a vendor event here in Baton Rouge. So how do you get your exposure? Always look on Facebook. Eventbrite is always a great way to get started. What is Kendrick doing?
He did.
See, this is why. See, when I have my kids here, comedy, and he's being silly. I'm about to fire him. This is why I don't like having him on here. So anyway, when I do vendor events, I have both of them with me. Say hi, Kendrick.
Hello!
He's being silly because he's always wanted to be on YouTube. And this is trying to be serious, but he does not want to be serious. And of course, I have my daughter with me. And how we usually do theyese vendor events is they'll let us know the setup. So for those of you that are new to business, that are wanting to start going to vendor events to expose your business, this is a great way to get started. Always look, Facebook, Eventbrite. Look in your local papers, see what's going on. There's always something going on. And that is actually how I got my exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my first vendor event, I did my first vendor event at actually a women's conference.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years ago.
That was your
and
first.
It was my first one. And did well. I made $250. Really over $250. He's back there being silly, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to kick him out.
No!
Stop. This is what I deal with. So anyway, yeah, my first event I made $250. I did an event last year at our old church. Oh, how much did we do? Cause we cleaned up, like literally to the point of
like 100 and something dollars.
Something like that. Over 100.
It was more than that.
Oh, it's more than that.
Okay.
I know it was a lot.
Like 200 and something dollars.
It was a lot.
3.
So literally what they do is they'll let you know your setup, which is one table and sometimes one chair, or most of the time it's like one table with 2 chairs. They'll tell you how long it is, what you can and can't do at these events. And what we do is we'll, after we get the information on how our table is going to be set up, what I do is I tell my kids, look, we're going to do a scaled down version of our flea market booth, which is how our flea market is set up is I do an L shape where they'll walk around and in the shape of an L. This is usually, as you can see here, this is usually what they'll tell you, 1 table and 2 chairs. So this is an example of how we set up our vendor events, the table, and usually it's a competition between my kids. So the earring side is usually what Miranda takes care of. The necklace side is what Kendrick takes care of. So for those of you that are in business, wanting to start your own business, don't know where to get started, that is a great way to get started, as well as when you do your first setup. You're going to be nervous with your first setup. Don't be afraid to talk to the other vendors, because that is how you get your exposure as well as other vendors. They will reach out to you and say, hey, there's another vendor event I'm going to be attending. Do you want to join me? Here's the information. Once you do one vendor event and you really get your feet wet, then you'll start getting a little comfortable. And now with me, what happens with me now is I get emails. And as I stated earlier, I got an email a few days ago and this is an event that my daughter and I have done before, and I think this is now going to be the 3rd time we're going to be doing something with them. And this is the Women's Empowerment Network. They're doing another event, and they sent me an email a few days ago. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and do the event. Now, there is a cost with vendor events. Some of these costs vary. If they're small, you may look at anywhere between $15 to about $40. This event that I am doing coming up, it is $75, but they provide the table and 2 chairs. And that's how I know my information. They're going to give you a deadline on when you need to pay your vendor event fees, so you can reserve your spot, have your table. If there's some additional sponsorships, they will definitely let you know of the additional sponsorships. So that being said, let's show you just a sample of what we do. And this is usually how Miranda sets hers up. She does hers like with the big stuff first and then starts with the studs. This is just a sample of what we do at our vendor events. And again, if you see anything here that you like, please let me know. I always link my email address in the bottom of the description box, and you can also comment as well. So this is how Miranda usually sets up her side of the table. And as you can see, we have to do a really scaled down version of our flea market booth. So that's what we do. We just literally cut it down literally to size. So that's what we do. And then this is the side, that's the necklace side. This is the side Kendrick usually has. And from our last vendor event, we've sold some necklaces. So some of those necklaces are now no longer available. So that's why it's scaled down. We still have other necklaces. And usually what we do is if something sells and we have a big hole, as we always have at vendor events, when we sell something, we end up with holes. That's a little messed up, that's fine. Because we're also trying to put it out as much as neatly as we can.
Saints.
Yeah, saints.
Sometimes it looks like Mount Everest when we have big holes though.
That's, I don't know about all that, but usually this is what we do. When we have holes, we'll go into our bin, our jewelry bin, and Miranda, a lot of times she'll go in and grab something. Sometimes Kendra will go in and grab something just to replace the hole to make it still look pretty full. So we had to do that. What vendor event? We've had to do that at almost every vendor event.
Yeah.
A lot of vendor, yeah. Oh, particularly at our old church when we did our vendor event last year. How many times we had to restock that table?
Like 6, 7.
That was
almost
Texas. That was
10.
Texas.
No, yeah, because it was a lot. Because it was like the moment we would put something out, the stuff that we would put out sold,
Yeah.
and then we kept doing it again. Put something else out, sold.
I sold some out the bin.
We've actually, that was funny because Miranda had the bin out while we were trying to load the table up. She had the bin up to load. The ladies, kid you not, said, "What's in that bin?" So Miranda said, "Okay, I have this." why you didn't put that out? Well, we didn't have any room on the table and you're only given so much space. So when
Right.
she pulled it out, the lady literally snatched it out of Miranda's hand, and I think she made what? The lady spent $15?
15, 20.
$20? Yeah,
almost
spent
20.
$15, $20 just by the stuff out the bin. Stuff we didn't even put on the
On
table.
table.
She snatched it out of the bin and sold it. So that's usually how it goes for us. And another thing with vendor events, particularly with jewelry, you have to stay up with the times. If you don't stay up with the times, you're not going to have sales. Bottom line. For example, let me show you these. Y'all know hoops are my go-to thing. I love hoop earrings. I have several people at the flea market, at vendor events. You have hoop earrings. Oh my God. They will snatch these hoop earrings so fast it's not even funny. True story, some young girl at the flea market, I had hoop earrings and I had just gotten out there. I had a gold and a silver. I was wondering when you were coming back. My hoops broke. I need another pair. Can I buy these? Sure, $5. So that's what I did. And also you gain a following. So that's another good thing with your business, particularly when you're just starting out. You will gain a following. And that's what I ended up doing. And that's actually happened for our flea market booth. I gain a following. So if I'm not out there for a period of time, oh, where you been? I've been looking for you. That's a good thing. That lets your customers know. And it also lets you know that, hey, I'm doing something. I'm starting to get regular people. I'm getting regular customers. This is how you build your customer base. So doing vendor events, it is a great way to go, is vendor events. So again, Brian's gonna get one more shot of this table. This is just an example of how we do our vendor event. And usually we're at the behind the table, as you see my son behind the table. He being silly today.
Aww.
One more shot.
Yeah, she's gonna get one more shot. So that's usually how we do our vendor event. So she's gonna get one more shot. So again, if you see anything on the video, see anything that you would like, please let me know either in the bottom of the description box or send me an email and I will definitely get back in contact with you. Yeah, I sold one of those earrings yesterday. Got one yesterday.
These are so pretty. Can't lie, these are so pretty.
Gold,
Yeah.
silver, got saints,
Mm-hmm.
got new type of hoops.
Oh yeah. And a lot of these items that you're seeing, these are items I have featured on the channel before.
God, that's
And that is how we do vendor events. This is how the tables are set up. And that's it. So hopefully I've been a real big help to you guys, particularly if you're just now starting out in business. This is a great way to get started, is through vendor events. With that being said, there he is. This is Venetia Alexander Marshall. This is my son Kendrick.
Hey.
And on the camera is
Moranza.
Miranda. There she is. So hope everybody have a great day. Take care.
Yeah.